Hey, my friend, we are going to discuss what it takes to become an entrepreneur and set yourself free from the corporate grind. How do you become an entrepreneur? Well, in my opinion, first, you simply just have to make a decision to get started. It's as easy as that. And we tend to make things more difficult than they need to be. So let's start with a system that should help you wrap your brain around, how simple it really can be. And I have kind of a system. I'm not the one that originated this. A lot of other mindset coaches and entrepreneurs, right? This has been around. They've got nifty little names. I haven't created one. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But it's really all about, how this little system, this loop can really shape you and affect you. And it really starts with beliefs, which beliefs turn into thoughts, which create feelings that typically dictate our actions, which then create ultimately the result, which could be a good or bad one, right? All stemming back from our belief system. So going back on to beliefs, we'll start with beliefs. Beliefs and what I like to refer to as limiting beliefs. These things that we learned when we were very impressionable. I think experts say it's, around 2 to 7, 2 to 5. Don't quote me on it. It's at that young age when we're like sponges and everything that we hear around our family sticks in here in our subconscious, and it tends to, come out through the rest of our lives, making things in many cases very difficult for us to change directions, change paths, etc. Right? So limiting beliefs, good example. That I used to always be around. And again, no fault to our parents, just what they had passed on to them from their parents as well. And like making money is very difficult, or money doesn't grow on trees, or money is the root of all evil. All of these kind of things that you've heard that stuck in your brain, right? They are there making things difficult for you, unfortunately. Limiting beliefs. How can we maybe change those? Well, one is changing and understanding that those beliefs, are they true, or are they just things that popped in, right? They're really not true. So instead, let's rephrase some of those things, like maybe to making money is easy. I know money doesn't grow on trees, but same concept. And is money really the root of evil? No. I mean, if you're an evil person, money may, exacerbate that. If you're a really good person, money's just going to make you a better person, in my opinion. So again, it's really changing these limiting beliefs is probably first and foremost. And there's a neat little thing out there, or quote, I don't know what you call it, what we believe, we become, something like that, right? What we think about, we become. And so let's make sure that those beliefs are true and they're accurate, and then we can become those, okay? Thoughts are kind of the next subject matter, right? Those beliefs turn into thoughts, and if we're in a bad belief system or an inaccurate belief system, probably going to create some negative thoughts around, our belief system, and limiting thoughts, which then, of course, cascade onto the feelings and what tends to be more negative emotions that surface. Do they serve us? Okay. Which then again lead unto those actions that are not going to be productive. So if we have that limiting belief or false belief, we're not going to take the appropriate actions to make a change. And that obviously ends in those results that are either no result or negative results, right? So hopefully you get the picture. So nice little loop there. You can see it in many pieces of literature out there, but it makes sense when you start thinking about it. Ultimately, it starts, right, with the belief system, and then making a decision, that you want to accomplish, that you're going to accomplish, so that you start putting that into your brain, understanding that I can accomplish it, and the whys and the processes, right? And not thinking about the old limiting beliefs. And then things, like your perception will change, and you'll make more conscious decisions to do something. Now, this is when your RAS, or reticular activating system, actually starts to kick in. And the doors that were always there to begin with actually are now starting to open, and so that you can see what's on the other side, right? So you just need to, look for the evidence in your life that supports, those new decisions. Okay. And I'll give you an example. Let's use a new car. I think this is one that is pretty common for people, and I guarantee it. If it's not a car, it's something else that has happened for you. But I'll use a new car scenario. Let's say that, you've got this pretty blue Toyota that all of a sudden that you got really excited about, and this is the next new car that you wanted to have, right? Now you notice all of a sudden, again, when you start looking for these, you're looking online, you're looking for wherever it is, going to the dealership, and you've got this really pretty blue new Toyota that you just gotta have, right? So think about now that you're really focusing on this new blue Toyota that you want, how many of those start appearing, around you and in your life? Not a coincidence, right? It's your RAS again kicking in. You're driving down the highway, right? Bam, there goes that Toyota, maybe in a different color, but it's that same model and make that you're really interested in. And then lo and behold, there goes a blue one, right? The next day. So you just start focusing, your attention is more in tune with what you desire, okay? Many other examples that can happen with whether it's cars or other doodads or goodies that you may be interested in. But that again is your RAS, right? It's focusing on those desires and those decisions that you made to get whatever you wanted, make that change, whatever it may be, okay? Same concepts here that apply to the decision of becoming an entrepreneur and, again, trying to do things on your own terms. And it's scary, I get it, but you have to be willing to make that decision. Okay, again, I'll reemphasize, removing limiting beliefs and then making a decision to go for it is absolutely crucial. And I'll share my story as well. Maybe that'll help to inspire you or just show you examples that, again, you have to start somewhere, and I did too. And I know you can do it as well. So we'll start about 10 years ago. It's around 2014, if I remember correctly. And I was hustling, grinding as a health professional and making somebody else rich. Like I said, working, crazy hours, a lot of overtime, right, to get ahead, and still had to go through that embarrassing moment of a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Talk about it in the book as well, but it's probably one of the best things that happened to me. But that's when, again, I realized that, I had to make a change. There needed to be a line drawn on the sand, and I was going to step over it. I made that decision. And that's whenever the first company ideas, I started looking at a bunch of different things. I came up with this crazy idea that I would start this little company here in Texas called T4HC, which is Texans for Healing Cannabis. Again, health professional looking for some different modalities and ways to help people. The CBD, was just getting started. Of course, still, very difficult business angle. But anyway, I started this T4HC. Started with some T-shirts. Crazy idea. Really stupid when I look back on it. But at the same time, it was that decision to make that change. And, tried to sell shirts, more of a awareness type business. But that obviously led to some other ideas, some that completely failed. No big deal, right? That I failed forward. And that's what we should do. It's a learning process. And then from there, it led me on to more things online where I found subjects about the multi-level marketing, which, yeah, I know those are scary and taboo and all that kind of stuff. But there's actually really good ones out there. And this team taught me a lot about self-development, personal development, I should say, and reading more and basically going into education beyond my formal education. And again, taught me a lot of things. They also, that particular group taught a lot about social media, Facebook ads back in the day. It was a lot easier then. And so I, again, learned a lot of skills, didn't make any money with them right at that time. Later, it paid off huge. But again, that's when I started diving into some of these online programs. And again, it opened doors to, many things and basic marketing concepts, which were, again, very, very valuable. And that ultimately led to some different ways of figuring out passive income type of models, like through affiliate marketing, again, semi-related to the multi-level marketing, all kind of around the same thing, but learning these new skill sets on how to make money and how to create some passive, make, again, life a little easier and working smarter, not harder, right? On these strategies, essentially. And again, as I dove in, doors opened and kept opening, right? It's just a matter of taking action and making those decisions that something needed to change. This ultimately led me to figure out ways to create either semi or passive income streams, and creating businesses, around affiliations and collaborations and whatnot. That's what I figured out worked for me. and ways to, blow up a business and set people up for success. Welcome them in and give them opportunity as well. You can do the same thing, depending on what you're into, right? We've talked about that in some other videos, what you're passionate about. If you don't know and you're looking for, an opportunity or opportunities with a similar path that I took, and you don't have the resources or maybe the absolute desire or energy to create something from the ground up, it's what I have found to be my passion, essentially, is creating these businesses in a box, so to speak, in ways that will set people up for success and ways to learn things that I've learned, and the personal development side of things, and the motivation and the mindset adjustments that go along with becoming an entrepreneur. And none of this would have actually happened unless I changed my belief system to begin with, or the paradigm I was actually currently living in, and made a decision to go down a different path. Now, I know you can definitely do it too. You just got to step over the line and make that decision. And please hit that subscribe button if you're digging the content. And feel free to drop some comments, share your thoughts, and engage with our supportive community. Your opinions, experiences, and insights are valuable, and we love to learn and grow together. So let's help each other create our unique escape plans and live our best lives. And thanks for joining me on this video. And remember, you are never too old or too young to get started on the path of freedom. Just got to get started and make that decision. Love you guys.